Hello everyone, it's Anthony Bandiero, attorney for Blue to Gold Law Enforcement Training, bringing you another roadside chat from IACP 2025, Denver, Colorado. And I'm looking for some kind of cool background stuff, and I came upon this guy. This is the DMI guy. This is the Dangerous Male Investigator suit. I thought it was pretty cool, so let's do our roadside chat. This officer is in Alabama. He's talking about a case called Brizuela versus the City of Sparks, Nevada. And he's asking about, basically he's asking a fresh pursuit issue, okay? But before I can answer his question, let me give you some background for my friends out in the YouTube land. All right, so briefly what happened in Brizuela is that Brizuela commits a strong arm robbery by forcibly taking the property of a kid, basically his skateboard, okay? He steals the skateboard, he pulls it from his hands, and then the kids leave. The cops show up, they're looking to talk to Rolando, and the problem is, at least for the officers, is that Rolando is on his curtilage, right? What is curtilage? That area around the home that's protected like the home itself. So he's behind like this pony wall, okay? So he's, it's at night, around 8 something at night, and the Rolando makes it very clear, ab initio, like right from the beginning, that he does not want to talk to the cops. He does not want the cops on his property, on his curtilage, okay? He's using the word property, of course, legally it's known as curtilage. So the cops, I mean, they disregard that denial because they're like, well, we're here for an investigation. So they go up to the front door, they're trying to talk to Rolando. He's not participating, he's not being cooperative, and he's basically saying, get off my property. The court held that they counted how many times he said this. In a roundabout way, he said, get off my property 8 times. The cops never left. Eventually, Rolando pulls out a gun. He points it towards the officers. He gets shot. He's killed. And now his family, i.e. his wife, is looking for money because she says that the officers violated curtilage. They were not supposed to be there with these facts. Well, a lot of officers are like shocked by this because it's like, well, the cops are investigating a felony. And by the way, my friend in Alabama, it just happened, like a half an hour or so ago, so it's really not that long. And so they think to themselves, well, we have a felony. We also have not a lot of time. Maybe we have fresh pursuit and so forth, and we are doing an investigation. We get to do this regardless, right? Well, the problem is this, okay? The problem is that when the cops, put their foot, right, onto that man's curtilage, they have to have the acronym CREW. CREW is what we teach here at Blue to Gold. It's every time you have a search or seizure issue, you have to have either that person's consent. We don't have that here. You have to have a recognized exception. We'll talk about that more. Or you have to have a warrant. Consent, recognized exceptions, or a warrant. Well, you don't have consent, you don't have a warrant. What is your recognized exception? Well, first of all, it cannot just be that you're investigating something. There is no investigation exception. That has not existed for many, many decades under case law. Not when you're on there, right? The next one is some level of exigency. Well, where is the exigency in this case, right? Let's just be honest with ourselves. I did not tell you anything that was urgent. There's nobody getting hurt. There's no destruction of evidence. There's no immediate escape, okay? What we have is a felony. Finally, we do not have fresh pursuit. Fresh pursuit, that's where the time issue comes in. Fresh pursuit is when you are hot on a suspect's trail, right? And you're tracking this person down, and they allegedly committed a very violent, vicious crime. And usually because of that violence, there's some level of exigency. Well, your fresh pursuit cases are your murderers, your sexual assault suspects, and so forth. But where is that here? It isn't, okay? At the end of the day, they tried to, appeal this up to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court did not take the case. Ultimately, they settled this case for $2 million. Now, whatever you feel about this, whatever you feel about the Ninth Circuit, the Ninth Circus, okay, don't ignore this case, okay? Don't tell yourself, well, because my friend over here in Alabama, he's not in the Ninth Circuit, right? Oh, well, that doesn't affect me. Yes, it does not. It's not binding authority on you if you're in another circuit, unless you're in the Ninth. However, I don't teach cases here at Blue to Gold that I don't believe in, that I don't think have some merit. I would never go to my friends in Texas, for example, teach them about this case with the idea that, yeah, the Fifth Circuit would probably not agree with this. I'm like, my opinion is, if I think you have the exact same fact pattern, they would agree with it. And that's why we're talking about it. So to answer my friend's question, is time an issue? time is an issue if we have fresh pursuit. Normally with fresh pursuit, I kind of teach this like 2-hour-ish rule. Like if you're hot on a suspect's trail for 2 hours or so, and you end up finding them at their house and you kick the door in to kind of get them off the couch, that should be lawful, generally speaking, if you have legit fresh pursuit. Now that is in my Search and Seizure book. If you do not have that book, you should be picking that up right now. That is absolutely the best book on the market. I mean, that thing was not written by AI. Okay, that's a legit legal research, all founded on case law and so forth. So take a look at that book, go to bluetogold.com, and it has all the factors in there, the case law, and that book is for every single state. With that, my friends, I hope you like what we're doing here at Blue to Gold. Go to the website, leave a comment below, hit a like, share with your friends, and until next time, stay safe.